Hi everybody, my name is Kate Ivy and welcome to my channel, Teacher Mama Kate. I'm a former public school classroom teacher. I taught 4th, 5th, and 6th grade for 12 years and eventually turned into a stay-at-home / homeschool mom of 2. So today I wanted to share with you about our kind of beginning. I would like to call it a slow start, but what I am now calling my, warning of, hey, this is why we need to start slow when we come back from a summer break. Now, we didn't take a very long summer break. I honestly felt like it was a little hard to take a break. I wanted to keep going, but I noticed my kids needed the break and I needed a break too. So we started back last week though, because we got some of our curriculum in already and my kids were really excited, like, oh, when are we going to start math? When are we going to start, our lessons and all that? So what I did last week is we did math, we did reading, we did a little bit of history, and we did some language arts / science. And what I noticed is that I was really excited, like, oh my gosh, I'm all in. This is great. Let's go. Let's keep going. Like, I was basically spending too much time on certain things. And I realized that there was a little bit of pushback from one of my kids, and I was feeling worn out by it. And I could tell that, this child was worn out by it as well. So what I realized by the end of the week was, hey, we need to slow the train down and just say, hey, 20 minutes of this subject each day. And if we don't finish the lesson, that's okay. We're just going to push pause until the next day. And so I started to do that. And so this week, I feel like we've kind of taken it a little bit slower. Like we're building, I guess is my goal right now, to start simple. And I think that's how I want to start our future homeschool years, to start simple. Start with reading and math. Start with language arts and math, and then maybe add in some history and or science that week, and then build from there so that eventually you get to all of your subjects all together, and you can drop some as you get closer to breaks or as you get to summer, so that you're still able to get in all that you need to learn and teach for the school year, but you're not overwhelmed at the beginning of the school year. So right now we still have to add in, I've done a little bit of spelling on my own, but like as far as the curriculum goes, we still need to add in spelling and we still need to add in handwriting. I just started with one of my kids today. So my point of all this is, when you get really excited or when you have no motivation at all and you try to start and you're all in and you put this big, just this big shift in how you do things, a huge change for your kids from going to more free-form days, or hey, we've got structure, but we don't have as many, say, lessons we have to get in, or things like that you're trying to accomplish. We need to give our kids time to adjust, and we need to give ourselves time to adjust. So my recommendation is a slow start. And so even for the next school year, I would say, let's do reading and math, and then we can pick up our other subjects, handwriting, if you're still in the stages where you're practicing handwriting, your language, your spelling, and so on. And then also maybe the next week add in your history lessons, and the next week science, and the next week your art, whatever your subjects are that you're focusing on for that school year. But focus on your most important priorities in the beginning, and then add on the others as you go. And I think that you'll find, and we'll find as well, once we get to, we've got everything on our plate, I think we'll find that it's a lot easier to handle it. Even this week, I just felt way more prepared, knowing what to expect, which we're using a lot of new curriculum this year compared to what we used last year. So I really just felt like I was more prepared. It was easier to handle the load, and my kids knew what to expect. And so that's my recommendation for you guys. And even set time limits. If you feel like we've started back to reading, or we've started back to math lessons, or whatever the lessons are, and it feels like a lot, just set a timer for 20 minutes for the first week. And then maybe the next week you do 25 minutes for each subject, whatever is appropriate for the age that you're teaching. And then the next week, add another 5 and get up to your 30, or whatever, again, is appropriate for the age that you're teaching. So just start small and build, and everybody will be able to adjust more easily. Because I feel like when we're changing habits, for me at least, it's easier for me to make gradual changes that will stick, as opposed to making drastic changes that overwhelm. And then sometimes we're just like, I just want to give up. So that's my tidbit. That's my little tip. And I'm sorry I haven't made a video in quite some time. It's been really, I've been very into planning and all this good stuff, very busy. But if you're a homeschool mom watching this, you know how it goes. So you're doing a great job, and thank you for educating those sweet little hearts that you have at home and following God's call to do this. All right, have a great week, guys.